Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. In just a moment, I'm hitting the road to go check out the new psychological horror film, The Rule of Jenny Penn. The Rule of Jenny Penn is directed by James Ashcroft and it's starring John Lithgow and Jeffrey Rush. It tells the story of a man who's recovering from a stroke, and while he's in the care facility, one of the other patients is an absolute psychopath who is trying to rule all of the patients in this hospital with a children's puppet. This film looks like it is going to be absolutely unhinged, and it has two of my favorite character actors in this film. Both of these men are extremely good at playing in movies like this, and let's just say John Lithgow does have some really good experience with playing psychopaths, so I am really looking forward to this performance. So you know what, guys, it is enough of me sitting here jibber-jabbering on. It is time for me to hit the road because I need to check out The Rule of Jenny Penn. Welcome back, just getting home from The Rule of Jenny Penn, and guys, this movie is freaking tense. There is just an overwhelming amount of dread throughout this entire film that just keeps you squirming on the edge of your seat. Now, I'm going to do something that I rarely do when I do my movie reviews, but I feel like in this particular moment, it's very important because it is the foundation of this film. If you are someone who is sensitive to elder abuse, this film might not be for you, because it is very realistic in the way that the elder abuse is presented in this film. And I have this on good authority because my wife, Charming Amy, this is the field that she used to be in. She has a master's degree in elderly aging diseases. And so she said, yes, there is a lot of stuff in this movie that very much so hits home, is very realistic, and was extremely hard for her to watch. I'm not going to joke, guys. At this moment right now, she's off just kind of trying to collect herself after everything she saw. Because reasons of things that happen in this film is one of the things that made it very hard for her to continue in the field and has gotten her more into software development and working with computers and all where she is now. But she does have a master's degree in this, so she does know what she's talking about, and things are presented in this very realistically. Now, when I say abuse, I am not talking about someone who is being brutally hurt. There is not really a lot of blood and guts in this. This is all psychological warfare. These are moments where, and again, this was something that she pointed out that some people might find as, not necessarily realistic, but no one really believes our heroes in this movie. Jeffrey Rush is just made to look like he's insane or he's taken problems with his stroke or something and his brain just isn't working correctly. And so those situations played into a lot of why the staff doesn't necessarily believe the elderly people when they tell them that certain events are happening. And this might come off as cruelty, but unfortunately, this is something that happens because people with these diseases, it's really hard to believe some of the things that they say because their brain, it's not firing on all cylinders. And I'm sorry, I don't mean that in a mean way. It's just the truth of the matter. So something that seems very realistic and very tangible to these folks may not really be what's going on. And it's very scary to think of stuff like that. And so this film uses a lot of that in this movie to really, really use the fear method in this. Dread, that is what really is the fear motivation of this film and why it is 100% a hot psychological horror film. But I thought before I got things going, I really needed to drive some stuff home with folks, that this is something that you are sensitive to if you are somebody who has been involved in something like this. And I don't mean the abuse by any means. I mean like maybe you're a family member or someone of somebody who has been through something terrible like this. This might be a very hard watch for you. I had some moments where it was difficult for me because my grandmother passed away from Alzheimer's disease, and so I'm sensitive to stuff like that, and they did a very good job of portraying, you know, even the best intentions with some of the folks, the people that work at these hospitals. It's just, they don't have enough. They just don't have enough. So, okay, you know what? It's enough of me going on with this. Let's just get into this movie. But I definitely wanted to make sure that you all knew, if this is something you're sensitive of, do not go into this film. Maybe watch it at home because it is a very good movie. But give it a whirl because this is a Shudder original, so it's going to probably be on Shudder in about a month or so. So let's get into all the things I liked about this. First off, let's talk about the performances. I'm going to start with Jeffrey Rush because in all honesty, he blew my freaking mind in this film. He portrays a person with a stroke so freaking well. I am not kidding. I Googled it to make sure he was okay because he had the voice, the diction, the inflection in his voice, the way someone reacts, his mannerisms, everything was spot on perfect. When my grandfather had a stroke, there was a lot of the rehabilitation and all that same that he was going through, and a lot of that Jeffrey Rush did an amazing job portraying. So yeah, it's a very good job there. John Lithgow, of course, delivers a stunning performance as our evil, horrible human in this film, and he does such a great job with this character because not only is he frightening and scary, but there's also a part of you that actually feels the slightest bit of sentiment towards this character because of the situation that he's personally in himself and what makes him do the things that he does. All in all, this is an extremely well-crafted film that grounds itself very well in reality, and that's what makes this movie so damn horrifying. Now, there are some surrealist spots in this film where they use a little bit of effects or something like that, but all of that ties into the way that Jeffrey Rush's character can see stuff with his stroke. Now, the sound design is something else that is also absolutely perfect in this movie. There are moments where the film wants to put you in the situation that Jeffrey Rush's character is in, and they utilize the camera work by putting it in and out of focus, and another thing is the sound design that goes on by emphasis on certain sounds that are going on around him that maybe us, people who don't have a stroke probably wouldn't have noticed before, but it makes it just absolutely irritating for him. Sometimes there'll be high-pitched squealing sounds to emulate the sounds that Jeffrey Rush's character is feeling and hearing throughout the film. The movie does such a great job of depicting these things. His character goes through small little memory blurbs throughout the entire film, and all of that is captured in such an amazing way. I brought up the cinematography for this movie, and let me tell you, it is beautiful. It is so well done. There's so many amazing shots that fill this film with fear and dread that is just amazing. They use the camera in such an amazing way to make you feel like you're part of the things going on. I brought up the camera going in and out of focus to make you feel like you are in the same boat as Jeffrey Rush. It also has moments where things just kind of blip out that make it feel like the editing or something was a mistake, but no, that's just more of the situation that Jeffrey Rush is in. Every aspect of this film is made in such a way to make you feel uncomfortable and to squirm and worm in your seat the entire time you're watching this movie. So guys, if you want to watch a film that is just going to stick with you and make you really consider the things that might happen later on down the road, like, maybe hug that kiddo of yours a little bit harder now, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, this is an excellent film. If it is not in your area, this is a Shudder original, so it's probably going to be on the service in a month or two or something. So if you're not able to see this movie in theaters, or if you don't feel that you have it in you to watch this movie in theaters, I highly recommend checking this movie out at home. Now, some people might consider this movie a slow burn, and I will argue with them. But yes, they probably have some merit to that. But I also feel like this film does go through several different types of storytelling. There's even a point in this film where I feel like they were going for like an elderly slasher film. Again, not utilizing any kind of violence or anything like that, just the situations that they were putting people in. So all in all, guys, I have to say that this is a well-crafted, well-made film with some astoundingly good acting and some extremely good camera work. Got a little verklempt there, sorry. But okay, guys, thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies, no matter how icky and sticky they make you feel, because you know I'm gonna.